think you should pay everybody? Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for church.
In the small Illinois village of Dalton, an extraordinary political drama is unfolding, one that seems ripped from the pages of a high-stakes thriller. At the center of this controversy is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, once celebrated as a trailblazer for being the first female mayor of Dalton, now mired in allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power. What began as a symbol of progress and resilience has quickly devolved into a tragic tale of betrayal, and Scandal Henyard's reputation has been tarnished by accusations of embezzlement and autocratic leadership, leading the community to question whether this is the end of her once promising political legacy. Shockwaves hit Dalton when Henyard's own lover, once a trusted confidant, testified against her in court. This unexpected betrayal has fueled public mistrust and raised speculation about how her personal life may have intersected with her political ambitions. Further complicating her already precarious situation, the courtroom drama has revealed the fractures within Henyard's administration and exposed personal vulnerabilities that exacerbate her professional challenges. Once a figure of hope, she now stands as a controversial symbol of ambition unchecked by accountability. The community is divided, with some rallying to her defense as a trailblazer unfairly targeted by a rigid political establishment, while others demand accountability and a thorough investigation into her alleged misconduct as details emerge. It's clear that Henyard's administration is embroiled in complex issues. Reports of financial irregularities have sparked outrage, with critics accusing her of prioritizing personal gain over the welfare of Dalton citizens. Mismanaged funds, questionable contracts, and allegations of nepotism have overshadowed any successes she may have achieved during her tenure. The political landscape in Dalton is becoming increasingly volatile as trust in leadership wanes and calls for reform grow louder. Adding to the intrigue are whispers of a broader power struggle within the town, suggesting that Henyard's downfall may be as much about rival factions vying for control as it is about her actions. Some locals speculate that her fall from grace is being expedited by political opponents eager to capitalize on the controversy, while others maintain that the evidence against her is damning. The involvement of her former lover in the legal proceedings has intensified the drama, with courtroom revelations further dividing the community into camps of loyalists and detractors. For some, this betrayal represents a justifiable act of accountability. For others, it feels like a calculated move in a deeply personal vendetta against the Mayor. Henyard's journey from celebrated leader to embattled mayor serves as a cautionary tale about the pressures and pitfalls of political leadership in small-town America. What began as an inspiring story of breaking barriers and championing change has transformed into a narrative fraught with allegations of greed, betrayal, and unchecked power. This scandal raises broader questions about governance and accountability in Dalton, where the lines between personal ambition and public service seem increasingly blurred. Critics argue that Henyard's administration exemplifies the dangers of concentrating too much power in one individual's hands without adequate checks and balances. Meanwhile, her defenders suggest that the allegations could be part of a concerted effort to discredit her historic achievements. With legal battles looming and ongoing investigations, the spectacle promises to keep Henyard's saga in the public eye, ensuring that her legacy remains a contentious topic. As Dalton grapples with the fallout from Henyard's controversies, it faces a larger challenge: rebuilding trust in its leadership. Residents are left wondering what the future holds for their town, and whether the lessons learned from this scandal will lead to meaningful reform or further division. One thing is certain: the drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard is far from over, and the repercussions of her tumultuous reign will echo through Dalton for years to come.
Inside I have from the United States District Court.
Imagine being in the position of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, once celebrated as a trailblazing leader admired for breaking barriers, now standing in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. After building a name as a symbol of progress, serious accusations begin to mount, threatening to unravel everything she has worked for. The allegations are both dramatic and damning, centering on unlawful appointments within the village's administration, appointments that a judge later blocked. Reports indicate that Henyard attempted to appoint her own village attorney and police chief by bypassing established procedures, consolidating power in ways critics claim crossed ethical and legal boundaries. Rather than yielding to the court's intervention, she seemingly defied it, doubling down on her controversial actions and surrounding herself with individuals many argue are unqualified for their roles. Henyard's behavior appears to exemplify a pattern of contempt not only for the judiciary, but also for accountability and governance. To outsiders, Her choices seem reckless, and the image of a leader who once embodied empowerment now risks being replaced by one of hubris and disregard for democratic norms. The escalating scandal has left residents divided. Some view her defiance as bold moves to assert control in a fragmented system, while others see it as a dangerous overreach of power unbefitting her position. At the heart of the controversy lies a question about leadership and integrity. What happens when the lines between ambition and governance blur? Supporters argue that her unorthodox actions reflect the challenges of navigating a deeply entrenched political system resistant to change. In their eyes, she is a reformer fighting against the status quo, using decisive measures to enact her vision for Dalton's future. However, critics paint a far different picture. One of a mayor who sidesteps rules, disregards due process, and centralizes power at the expense of transparency and collaboration. The accusations of unlawful appointments and power grabs have overshadowed her earlier accomplishments, leaving the community questioning her motives and judgment. The judge's intervention, intended to rein in Henyard's unchecked authority, has only fueled speculation about her leadership style. Instead of rethinking her strategies, Henyard's apparent doubling down has led to an increasingly adversarial relationship with the legal system and the Board of Trustees. This conflict raises deeper questions about accountability in Dalton's governance and whether existing mechanisms can effectively hold its leadership in check. For Henyard, the stakes could not be higher. Once a rising star and a symbol of resilience, her reputation now hangs in the balance. The accusations tarnish her image, casting shadows on her achievements and leaving many to wonder if her defiance signals unyielding determination or a troubling disregard for the very systems she was elected to uphold. As legal challenges mount and public confidence wavers, Dalton faces a moment of reckoning, not just for Henyard but for its governance as a whole. This unfolding drama reveals the complexities of small-town politics, where personal relationships, power struggles, and legal battles collide, reshaping entire communities. Whether Henyard's actions will ultimately be judged as a necessary push for progress or a dangerous overreach remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. This saga is far from overdetermination or a troubling disregard for the systems she was elected to uphold. It's a scenario few would envy. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who rose to prominence through ambition and vision, now finds those same traits weaponized against her in the court of public opinion. The contrast between the trailblazer she once was and the embattled figure she has become underscores the challenges of navigating power and responsibility in the political spotlight. As legal challenges mount and public confidence wavers, Dalton faces a moment of reckoning, not just for Henyard but for its governance as a whole. The unfolding drama reveals the complexities of small-town politics, where personal relationships, power struggles, and legal battles collide, reshaping entire communities. Whether Henyard's actions will ultimately be seen as a necessary push for progress or a dangerous overreach of power hinges on ongoing investigations and judicial reviews. The situation has taken an unexpected turn with shocking revelations from a key player, her boyfriend, who chose to spill the beans in court. His testimony has dealt a heavy blow to Henyard's already embattled image, painting a picture of financial impropriety and abuse of power. According to his statements, Henyard has allegedly misused municipal funds, money provided by taxpayers for personal luxuries. If true, these allegations depict a leader indulging in opulent purchases and extravagant vacations while her community grapples with pressing challenges that demand responsible governance. The image of a mayor entrusted with managing her community's resources clashes sharply with accusations of excessive spending, leaving residents outraged and demanding accountability. But the scandal doesn't stop there. New allegations suggest Henyard may be involved in shady business dealings with local companies, raising suspicions of corruption and favoritism. Claims have emerged that certain businesses provided payments or other forms of compensation in exchange for preferential treatment from her administration. If proven, these deals suggest a troubling pattern of Henyard abusing her position for personal enrichment, prioritizing financial gain over the well-being of her constituents. These accusations have cast a dark shadow over her leadership, amplifying public distrust and fueling speculation about how deeply rooted this misconduct might be. The involvement of her boyfriend in exposing these alleged schemes adds a personal layer of drama to an already volatile situation. His decision to testify has not only highlighted potential legal and ethical breaches, but also thrust Henyard's private life into the public arena, creating a spectacle of betrayal and scandal that captivates onlookers. For a leader already under scrutiny for alleged unlawful appointments and power abuse, These fresh revelations compound her troubles, raising questions about whether this once promising trailblazer can recover from the storm engulfing her career. The allegations, ranging from financial misconduct to corrupt dealings, paint a picture of a leader whose priorities may have strayed far from the values of transparency and public service she was expected to uphold. Critics have seized the opportunity to demand investigations and call for accountability, arguing that her actions not only violate legal boundaries, but also betray the trust of the very community she was elected to serve. And ethical boundaries, but also betray the trust of the very community she was elected to serve. Meanwhile, her supporters, though shaken, argue that these accusations may be politically motivated, aimed at tarnishing her image and discrediting her leadership during a time of immense pressure and scrutiny. Yet with each new allegation and testimony, the challenges to her integrity grow, shifting the narrative from that of an embattled reformer to one of a leader ensnared in scandal. The broader implications for Dalton are significant. Allegations of financial misuse and favoritism suggest a breakdown in the town's governance, revealing loopholes in oversight and accountability that enable such alleged misconduct. Residents are left grappling with the prospect of systemic corruption in their leadership, highlighting an urgent need for reforms to restore trust in local government. The controversy surrounding Henyard underscores the vulnerabilities of small-town politics, where personal ambitions, power struggles, and unchecked authority can lead to significant breaches in governance. For Henyard, the stakes have never been higher. The accusations jeopardize not only her political career, but also her personal relationships and public legacy. The betrayal by her boyfriend adds a sensational element to the story, transforming what might have been a contained political scandal into a gripping drama of personal and professional collapse. Courtroom revelations have captured public attention, drawing both fascination and outrage as residents and onlookers seek to unravel the full extent of Henyard's alleged misconduct. As the investigation unfolds and new details emerge, Dalton finds itself at a critical juncture. The town must confront the immediate fallout of these accusations while grappling with broader questions about leadership, integrity, and accountability. Whether Henyard can survive this firestorm, or if the weight of these allegations will mark the end of her political career, remains to be seen. One thing is certain: this scandal will etch her name into Dalton's history as part of one of its most contentious political chapters, and the nation watches closely as the drama unfolds.
A one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged misconduct appears to extend well beyond the small Illinois village of Dalton, with investigations revealing a complex web of dealings involving local stakeholders, developers, and contractors from neighboring towns. Sources close to the inquiry suggest that her influence may have crossed regional lines, facilitated by associates who helped orchestrate these questionable arrangements. Each new detail points to a network of transactions indicating a leader whose ambitions may have driven her far beyond legal and ethical governance. As investigators delve deeper into Henyard's circle, the allegations surrounding her administration continue to expand, painting a troubling picture of a leader who leveraged her position not only to assert control within her community, but also to cultivate broader alliances. In court, the atmosphere has been charged, shifting from tense anticipation to chaos when Henyard's boyfriend took the stand, revealing sensitive details about her conduct. His testimony alleged unauthorized financial dealings, illicit transactions, and improper relationships with influential individuals, all aimed at advancing her personal and political interests. According to his account, developers and contractors engaged with Henyard were not mere collaborators, but central figures in a scheme of favoritism and corruption, exchanging benefits for preferential treatment in municipal decisions. If substantiated, these claims could severely undermine Henyard's career and erode the trust of the community she was elected to serve, leaving a lasting stain on Dalton's governance. Witnesses described an emotional eruption from Henyard during the testimony, showcasing her as visibly rattled and caught off guard. What began as indignation escalated into disruptive behavior, forcing the courtroom to pause and absorb the gravity of the situation. Her outburst not only disrupted proceedings, but also projected an image of a leader under immense pressure, potentially losing control of her composure. And the narrative of her defense critics argue that this outburst highlights a broader pattern of erratic behavior, raising concerns about her capacity to navigate crises with the level-headedness expected of public officials. What was initially a calculated legal defense transformed into a theater of personal conflict, overshadowing substantive questions about her governance. Henyard's emotional unraveling, combined with her boyfriend's damaging revelations, painted a portrait of a leader cornered by mounting accusations threatening her political future and personal credibility. The growing scandal casts a long shadow over Henyard's tenure, questioning her ability to lead a community struggling with trust and stability. Every new revelation chips away at the narrative she once controlled, replacing it with an image of alleged misconduct and questionable alliances. The allegations suggest systemic issues within her administration, prompting calls for deeper investigations not only into her actions, but also into the network of individuals potentially complicit in her alleged transgressions for Dalton. The fallout from these revelations is more than a local scandal. It represents a reckoning with the fragility of governance and the responsibilities of public service. As Henyard's case unfolds, the community grapples with the implications of her alleged actions, seeking answers on how such behavior could occur within a system designed to prevent corruption. With public patience running low, residents demand accountability from a leader who is supposed to serve their interests, not misuse public funds for personal luxuries. Public sentiment is increasingly vocal, with social media buzzing with demands for her resignation and accusations of betrayal. Commenters express outrage, stating that Henyard is as corrupt as they come, urging that her actions warrant severe consequences amidst this turmoil. Henyard continues to assert her position, arriving late to a recent village board meeting held at a local park district due to the overwhelming crowd. She attempted to take charge, declaring, "I am the mayor of the village of Dalton," but was met with jeers and shouts that drowned her out. The surreal scene reflected a leader out of touch with the mounting discontent in her efforts to spin the narrative. Henyard claims that the charges against her are politically motivated and accuses her enemies, particularly the Board of Trustees, of orchestrating a smear campaign. She even filed lawsuits alleging violations of transparency laws against her opponents. Yet, as her public support wanes, questions linger about her ability to rally constituents in her defense as federal inquiries into her handling of public funds gain momentum. Henyard's inner circle appears to be unraveling under scrutiny. Rumors circulate about her boyfriend potentially being detained, hinting at more revelations regarding her alleged corruption. The drama surrounding Henyard's administration continues to escalate, leaving the future of her political career hanging in the balance as the community seeks accountability and transparency. The unfolding saga surrounding Mayor Tiffany Henyard represents a significant reckoning with the fragility of governance and the responsibilities of public service. As her case progresses, the community of Dalton grapples with the implications of her alleged actions, questioning how such behavior could occur within a system designed to safeguard against corruption. Frustration among residents is palpable, and their patience is wearing thin as they demand accountability from a mayor who is supposed to serve their interests rather than misuse their hard-earned tax dollars for personal luxuries. The public has made it clear that they will not remain silent. As the chaos surrounding Henyard's administration escalates, social media has exploded with calls for her resignation, accusing her of betraying the community's trust. Comments range from accusations of corruption to demands for jail time, as residents express their outrage over the apparent misuse of public funds despite the mounting pressure. Rather than retreating or attempting to salvage her reputation, Henyard made a dramatic entrance at a recent village board meeting. Arriving late due to the large crowd at the local park district, she attempted to assert her authority, declaring, "I am the mayor of the village of Dalton." However, her speech was drowned out by jeers and shouts from the audience, creating a surreal scene reminiscent of a scripted drama. Before leaving, she accused the Board of Trustees of dishonesty and suggested they were orchestrating a smear campaign against her. Henyard's efforts to spin the narrative continue, claiming that the charges against her are politically motivated. She has alleged that her opponents, particularly the trustees, are trying to undermine her authority and disrupt her re-election campaign. In a bid to rally her supporters, she posted a cryptic message on Facebook, urging them to stand with her, stating, "If God is for us, then who can be against us?" As federal inquiries into her handling of public funds intensify, it has become evident that Henyard's inner circle is also under scrutiny. Reports indicate that subpoenas have been issued, and investigations into her financial dealings are well underway. The pressure is mounting, and rumors suggest that even her boyfriend, a key figure in the unfolding drama, may be in detention, hinting at further revelations about her alleged corruption. This turbulent situation has not only revealed questionable spending, but also spotlighted the broader implications for governance in Dalton. The ongoing investigations could unearth systemic issues that allowed such behavior to flourish, leaving the community grappling with the fallout. The atmosphere surrounding Henyard's administration has shifted from one of hopeful leadership to one of turmoil and distrust, compelling residents to question the integrity of their local government as the investigation deepens and more information comes to light. The drama surrounding Henyard's tenure shows no signs of resolution. The community's demand for answers and accountability will only grow louder as they navigate the complexities of leadership and the expectations of those in public office. For Dalton, the future hinges on how these revelations will reshape not just the mayor's career, but the very foundation of trust in their local governance.
Questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions, and so it's not about big bait, it's about just
The findings of recent research indicate that Dalton has faced significant financial difficulties under Mayor Tiffany Henyard's leadership, largely attributed to reckless spending and inadequate oversight. The village's financial situation has deteriorated to such an extent that concerns about its governance are mounting. The judge has issued a temporary restraining order, preventing Henyard from making appointments without permission, raising alarms among citizens about the potential impact on economic stability if the allegations prove true. Tensions between Henyard and the Board of Trustees have escalated for months, with trustees accusing her of acting unilaterally and undermining their authority. In fact, they were the ones who initiated a lawsuit aimed at halting her appointments, arguing that she lacked the necessary authority to make those decisions. Many of Henyard's most vocal critics have emerged from within the village government itself. As the pressure mounts, calls for accountability are growing louder. One trustee remarked, "We've had enough of these antics. It's time for real leadership." Despite the increasing scrutiny, Henyard appears determined to fight back. She is pushing against the tide of accusations, even as the situation grows more precarious. While some of her supporters believe she is being unfairly targeted for challenging the status quo, they find it hard to defend her boyfriend's damaging testimony in court. His decision to testify against her has been a game changer, and the betrayal has left many wondering how she could recover from such a blow. One viewer even harshly questioned, why hasn't she just taken the money and left everyone behind? As public sentiment grows increasingly skeptical, speculation continues regarding the next steps in Henyard's legal saga. More testimony is anticipated in the coming weeks, with rumors suggesting that even more damaging evidence may surface. If found guilty of corruption, it could spell the end of her political career. However, even if she is innocent, the legal battles are just beginning, and the pressure is mounting. The residents of Dalton are weary of the damage to their community's reputation. The Board of Trustees is demanding her resignation, while the looming FBI inquiry hangs over everything like a ticking time bomb. Will Tiffany Henyard be able to clear her name, or is this the end of her political journey? The implications for Dalton's future are serious, especially given its existing financial difficulties and the current leadership turmoil. No matter the outcome, this political scandal is shaping up to be unforgettable. As the story continues to unfold, it raises critical questions about accountability, governance, and the responsibilities of public service. What do you think should happen next? Should Tiffany Henyard resign, or could this be a case of political rivals attempting to bring her down? The narrative is far from over, and we encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you soon as this gripping saga develops.